you'll talk about this. You'll state the obvious. There are other networks who will actually hold their water and not call it out. Jerry Nadler just said that no one was accusing Democrats of distorting facts. I mean, I personally, no one asked more questions inside of those depositions than I did during that first Trump impeachment. And what was so frustrating is that we would have a break. You'd come out, you'd get caught up on the news. And there was leaks going on while we're there in the middle of a closed-door deposition. If Republicans would have leaked, there would have been an instant ethics investigation. It was the Democrats who would walk out. They would talk to their friendly reporters. I remember one story that CNN came out during the Alex Vindman testimony saying that I was accusing Vindman of dual loyalty. And I called up Tapper, who was one of the names on that story. I was like, this is not true. There's going to be a deposition, a transcript that's going to come out that's going to show that this story is false. You should get rid of it. They don't. Tapper doesn't mention it on his show, and a few of them don't mention it, but you get to Don Lemon's show. And Don Lemon opens up his show, and he's teeing off on me. Even though I told CNN, like, the transcript's going to come out showing you that I never accused Alex Vindman of dual loyalty. But Don Lemon does it anyway.
Unbelievable.
And when Nadler is saying that no one accused the Democrats, I mean, that was the whole tactic here. Republicans played by the book. And to something that you just referenced a minute or two ago, there is a very big difference in how this goes down if it's 5 minutes for a Republican, 5 minutes from a Democrat going back and forth versus 1 hour and 1 hour. It allows you to do a deep dive substantively. It also allows you to ask questions of different witnesses where they don't know what each witness said. When you bring in Hunter, bring in James Biden, bring in Sarah Biden, bring in others, and they have to give their own answers when you're asking about a loan.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a loan? When was that first payment from Joe Biden?
Right.
Where's the documents? Let's know if they're all going to give the same answer.
He wants to be able to pontificate for 5 minutes and then run out the clock and then have a Democrat ask an easy question. That will be the the state of play if it's a open forum. House Republicans are launching a one-stop shop website, meanwhile, full of information related to Biden's impeachment inquiry. The goal is to show the American people a clear picture of the Biden family corruption. Mark, what do you think of this?
Well, I love transparency, and that's something that we certainly don't get from the Democrats. And to everything we've been talking about this block, none of this surprises me. None of anything that's happening right now. There's certainly two sets of rules. There's a set of rules for the Democrats. There's a set of rules for Republicans, whether it's these depositions, whether it's censorship, surveilling American citizens, or even just what is and isn't an insurrection. I mean, you look at those pro-Palestine protesters who were sitting inside the Capitol protesting while there was a vote for the Speaker of the House underway. That's pretty similar to what happened on January 6th.
Yeah,
I mean, so look, there's always been this dual standard. I think it's pretty obvious that Hunter Biden's a pretty shady guy, right? I mean, I don't think he was playing for Team USA.
But this is a Joe Biden investigation.
Oh, 100%.
Let's be clear. This is a Joe Biden
100%.
investigation. And James Comer keeps saying that. The fact that they said nobody's questioning Democrats, Todd, how rich was that given the fact that throughout 2016, 17, 18, Adam Schiff was on every TV station telling us that Trump colluded with Russia and it was there in plain sight.
I just love the fact that all of a sudden Democrats believe that a subpoena is a wish list to Santa. It is not a wish list. It is a legal document that demands something that has to be followed. It's not something like, oh, maybe we can, maybe we can't. It just shows how, to Lee's point, they play by their own rules, and they don't believe that the Republicans should play by those rules.